Did you feel that? Like a jolt straight out of the Chargers locker room. Something's brewing behind the scenes, and no, it's not just another offseason signing. It's a string of moves that could flip everything upside down. A new name buzzing on offense, a player on the chopping block, and maybe a trap forming on defense. And it doesn't stop there. The draft is right around the corner, and with the 22nd pick, the future of this franchise is about to be carved out. The real question, is Jim Harbaugh about to make his mark, or is he playing with fire? Stick around, Bolt fam. Like, comment, and subscribe. Today's game is off the field. It was supposed to be quiet. Najee Harris came in with a splash, $9 million in the bag, and the promise to finally fix that glaring hole in the backfield, but then a name popped up that makes every fan of explosive football sit up. Breece Hall. Yeah, that Breece Hall, the speedster from the Jets. According to a piece by Last Word on Sports, the Chargers might be lurking. But why? And more importantly, for what? Here's the deal. Harris brings the power. He hits hard, punishes defenses. But he's missing that spark, that 40-yard breakaway that lands on every highlight reel. Hall? He's that spark, the guy who changes the tempo in an instant. While Harris wears defenses down, Hall could light him up on the edges. On paper, it's brilliant. But here's the catch. Hall's entering the final year of his deal, and Jets head coach Aaron Glenn didn't sugarcoat it. We're running a 3-back rotation. You know what that means. Hall's not happy. Trade request incoming, it's on the table. Now the question is, would it even be worth it? Burn draft capital or carve out cap space for a guy who might bounce in 2026? The fan base is split. Some are dreaming of a thunder and lightning duo in the backfield. Others are waving red flags, shouting, "No more risky bets, there's more." Bringing Hall in now would mean rewiring the entire offense. Harbaugh would have to reshape the rotation fast. There's not much time. The fit is unclear, and the price? Steep. But what if it's all smoke? What if this rumor is just chess, forcing another team's hand or testing Najee's mindset? If there's one thing Harbaugh knows, it's how to play the silent chess match inside a locker room. Fans can feel it. Something big is brewing. Some are hyped about the idea of Harris and Hall running wild. Others are bracing for another gamble gone wrong. Another name that ends up being dead weight. As of now, Hall's still a Jet. But if he ever sets foot in SoFi wearing that bolt on his chest, you better brace yourself, because the game's going to change before kickoff. And if you think that's the boldest move of the week, buckle up. This next one might have you yelling at your screen, "Get this guy off the team now." You ever get that feeling that something's off, even when no one's talking about it? Justin Herbert knows that feeling well. And one of the biggest mismatches in this offensive puzzle has a name, Jalen Reagor, the wide receiver who arrived quietly and stayed quiet. And it's not just the fans noticing. Lee Vowell from Bolt Beat didn't mince words. It's a mystery how he's still on the roster. 7 catches in 2024, 12 targets, that's it. In an offense starving for playmakers, Reagor's been a ghost. But wait, wasn't he a former first-round pick? Drafted by the Eagles with sky-high expectations, bounced to the Vikings, then to the Patriots, now here, 4th team in 5 seasons, a backstage tour of the NFL, and everywhere he goes, same story. Promises unkept. Chargers fans, of course, aren't having it. Why is he still here? Is the default comment online. A lot of people say he's blocking a roster spot that could go to a hungry rookie. And it's hard to argue with that. The guy has 86 catches in 64 games, 4 touchdowns. That's practice squad production, not game day impact. And here's the real issue. Herbert's running out of weapons. And somehow the Chargers are considering cutting one of the few receivers still standing. Is that crazy? Or is it the first real sign of a rebuild? Because keeping Reagor around is like saying, we're cool with being mediocre. And under Harbaugh, that kind of thinking doesn't last. He's calculated, demanding, and he knows you can't build a war machine with busted parts. Behind closed doors, the pressure's mounting. When the draft hits, there's going to be a scramble for wide receivers. Reagor knows it. The question isn't if he'll get cut, it's when. If he does get the axe, it opens the door for new blood, fresh talent, someone who can actually move the needle, and someone Herbert can trust when it's 3rd and 8 with the game on the line. But if Reagor stays, if he ends up as the last piece in a paper-thin offense with no true WR1 and a QB left hanging, that might be the crack that breaks the whole system. So the suspense grows. The roster's still under construction, and the next move might look right on paper, but carry danger just beneath the surface. Speaking of danger, there's a name floating around. Recently cut, shaky past, and now being pitched as a fix for the Chargers' defense. But is he? He got cut. Again. And now some folks are saying the Chargers should give him a shot. Jack Jones. Yeah, that Jack Jones. The same guy who picked off Easton Stick during that 63-21 meltdown against the Raiders. The same guy the Patriots cut over locker room issues. Him. The moment he hit free agency, it was like someone dropped a grenade in the locker room. Suddenly the whispers started. Could he fit here? He's young, he's got upside. Might come cheap. But come on, since when is panic a strategy? Sure, the Chargers need cornerbacks. No argument there. So far, they've only added Dante Jackson and Benjamin St-Juste. That's thin. But banking on a player two teams gave up on in less than a year? That's not a plan. That's desperation, let's be real. The Raiders let him walk. No trade, no compensation, just gone. He's 27, plays a premium position, and nobody wanted him. That says something. The risk outweighs the reward. And this isn't just about on-field play. There's off-field baggage, rule-breaking, attitude issues. Harbaugh's trying to reset the culture in LEA that starts by saying no to chaos in a helmet. Of course, not everyone agrees. Some fans see him as a low-risk flyer. A diamond in the rough. After all, he's got talent, and the Bolts do have a history of finding hidden gems. But is this really the time for gambles? After years of falling into the same traps, should the Chargers really throw a wrench into the defense just as it needs stability? The answer might be in the recent past. In 2023, with limited resources, the Chargers struck gold in the 5th round with Tarheeb Still and Cam Hart. Young, disciplined, focused. That's the kind of foundation Harbaugh's trying to build, and don't forget, Asante Samuel Jr. His future is still up in the air. Bring in a guy like Jones, and it could stir up even more tension in that DB room. That kind of stress, it festers, and it costs you when it matters. Jones might make headlines, might even flash for a second. But deep down, Chargers fans are asking something else. Is it really worth risking the entire rebuild for one unstable piece? The draft is coming. The chance to build this thing right from the ground up is within reach. But one wrong move now could cost us the season. That said, not everything is cloudy. There's a moment coming. A turning point. That annual ritual where franchises shape their destiny, the clock's ticking, and on April 24th, when that first pick gets called, the Chargers' future starts to unfold. 3 days, 7 rounds, hundreds of decisions. But only one pick can change everything. Pick 22, that's the crossroads. And if there's one thing Bolt fans know, it's that every detail matters. Historically, the 22 spot has delivered some heavy hitters. Mike Williams, the OG from 75, Gil Byrd, a Chargers Hall of Famer, and Darian Gordon, who helped fuel that 94 Super Bowl run. So yeah, this pick carries weight. So who's on the radar? The fan base is split. Some want offense. Others are screaming defense. But one name is rising above the noise. Colston Loveland, tight end out of Michigan. Recruited, coached, and trusted by Harbaugh. It adds up. Harbaugh knows the guy inside out. And with major holes in the passing game, Herbert needs reliable targets. Yesterday, still not everyone's sold. Some analysts argue the real issue lies on defense. They're pushing for edge rushers like Mike Green out of Marshall or Donovan Ezirwaku from Boston College. Two fierce names, two QB hunters. So here's the dilemma. Ride the Harbaugh-Loveland chemistry or plug the trench and bring pressure off the edge? Behind the scenes, Harbaugh's been tight-lipped. But he dropped a clue at the last league meeting. At 22, a great player's going to be sitting there. We just got to be ready to take the right one. Simple words, but loaded with strategy. Because the draft isn't just about talent, it's about timing, seeing beyond the surface and not folding under pressure. The fan base is locked in. Every mock draft stirs up debate, hope, and panic. Some want a burner at wide receiver. Others are begging for offensive line help. The tension feels like game day, and here's the twist. Guys like Justin Jefferson, Zay Flowers, and Quinion Mitchell, all 22nd picks. The gold is there. But if you blow it, if you chase a favorite or ignore the board, it could mean another wasted season. The draft is where titles start taking shape. Harbaugh knows that because one smart move right now could echo for 10 years. And while the spotlight shines on Green Bay, the Bolt fam is holding its breath. Because on April 24th, it's either the start of something real or a return to square one. Bottom line, the Chargers are at a crossroads. The moves over the next few days will shape not just the season, but the soul of this franchise. Harris, Reagor, Jack Jones, the draft, each name carries hope, tension, or risk. But one thing will never change, the heart of this fan base. The Bolt fam stays strong, because when you wear the lightning, you don't back down. So now tell me in the comments, who are you taking at 22? Like, share, subscribe. This is analysis with fire in the eyes. This is emotion from start to finish. This is Chargers. Always.